Gilgamesh, the king of Uruk, the legendary hero from Mesopotamia's ancient culture. This is a fascinating character on a lot of levels because we see a meaningful character arc to who Gilgamesh is. And I want to talk about some of the various aspects of how this king tells his full story. It's a pretty amazing story. Now, you remember in the Gilgamesh classic, he starts off as his classic narcissistic despot. He's 2/3 divine, he's 1/3 mortal, and he's all insecurity. He dominates Uruk to distract from his frail identity, his fractured identity, really. His arrogance isn't real confidence, it's a fragile defense mechanism. He rules it like he's never stopped flexing. Like, people have to notice that he's got this human side, otherwise his god facade cracks. And he is flat out abusive to his people overall. He abuses them, he takes women just as he chooses, men and boys alike, so he really does what he wants. And the people are so tired of this that ultimately they pray to their own set of deities to send over someone to teach him balance. And in that form he gets Enkidu, who becomes the shadow of himself in flesh. And I say shadow self because he kind of represents everything that Gilgamesh has lost. This wild, free, humble spirit who's deeply in tune with nature, which Gilgamesh has himself lost. So instantly they clash because the ideas and morals that come with the attachment to nature force Enkidu to stand against the king, even though no one ever does. And they clash, turns into this brotherhood the first time that he recognizes that this guy is literally his balance and his counter, and that's what he needs. And through Enkidu, he can taste vulnerability, companionship on equal levels, and the humanizing weight of empathy. So he's starting like to have a real session mentally. But in that coupling, he does something I think is really significant. And for a time, he actually corrupts Enkidu. And I'm saying this because they go on the killing spree of Humbaba, killing the wild father. The slaying of Humbaba, who remember is the guardian of the Cedar Forest, is a huge psychological turning point. Humbaba is not just a monster. He represents the father figure of the forest. This is a primal force that Enkidu himself comes from, and a force that Gilgamesh really fears. He thinks he can achieve glory, but by killing Humbaba, Gilgamesh hasn't really conquered an enemy. He's symbolically murdering the boundaries of nature and restraint. It's a reckless attempt to prove dominance over mortality and chaos by slaying nature. And Humbaba even begs for mercy, offering to serve. But Gilgamesh, ironically pushed by Enki, kills him anyway. And that choice shows how insecure and impulsive they are, and these kind of corruption of Enkidu at the same time. So culturally, Humbaba represented, sacred order. His death foreshadows a cosmic backlash. The gods will strike back, and they will strike back by taking Enkidu. So while he's feeling at the height of this raw power, the show of strength of what these two could accomplish together, he knows there's this foreshadowing, or he should see this foreshadowing. What he's trying to do is skip over the path of being wise just to be this highly honored king through tasks. And it feels like a victory initially. He's really going to be triggering his own downfall by killing Humbaba, who was this natural figure that deserved to live, that protected everyone. And this is a real moment in his psyche, where killing of the cosmic father without having the maturity to face these actual consequences. So what happens after that is he goes into this existential spiral. Now he's really questioning his own mortality. He's slain Humbaba, but his best friend has been taken from him in a very painful and drawn out way. So now he has this fear of his own mortality, and he's rushing to do everything to fight against his death anxiety. So he has this quest for immortality, which is really classic avoidance behavior. He wants to dodge the truth that he's not ready to face. So he goes through all these machinations. He meets Epitna pushed him, and they lose the plant of youth to a serpent. Nature telling him a message that you're not going to be able to take a shortcut to conquer mortality. It will not happen. So this forces a different and the last version of Gilgamesh. And this is the mature king. At the end of this, he's learned the lesson from Humbaba's death. That foreshadowed that power without wisdom brings ruin. His maturity comes when he shifts from trying to destroy death to trying to build a legacy. He builds the walls of the city, which will be a lasting symbol of his rulership. He becomes a true immortal king in memory in that way. So he goes from being this early narcissistic tyrant, masking his own insecurities, to finding his shadow self, who taught him empathy. He loses his way again, even within that, and through his hubris, denial of his own limitations, kills the king of the forest. And then he's forced to finally have consequences for his overreactions. He has trauma, and he has grief. He blinds that with this quest for immortality, wanting to avoid death at all costs, only to ultimately accept his place, accept his mortality, and find his meaning through legacy. So his arc is a psychological blueprint for a hero who must learn that conquering the world means nothing if you don't conquer yourself first, if you're not in control of who you are. And the things that you valued with your bravado and your great victories pale in comparison to the legacy that you can build behind you if you put the people of your own kingdom first. So a great story when we look at the arc of Gilgamesh. It's, very tragic in a lot of points, but also very inspiring that in the end, this very bad king can come all the way to full circle and become this magnificent ruler who we're still talking about now. So even through his actions, he did gain the immortality that he ultimately wanted.